Replacing a black Republican with a black Democrat still tells me you don't run your shit. You don't own that school. That's not your school. That belong maybe it belongs to the Democratic Party. So you're really choosing the better master. Which master do you want? And my belief, my humble, perhaps naive expectation is that at some point we'll say, no, I want to be the master of my own fate. We can run this dang thing. We can make that final decision. And it's gonna take some investment to make that happen. To really own and run institutions, you got to be willing to invest. You can't just show up for the rewards. You got to make the sacrifice. When I talk about the power of the NFL and how we have so few black people that are able to own large percentages of NFL teams, we're the ones playing on the field, but we're not making the billions that come from owning the league, even though we bring all the talent to the table. Well, I always tell people, go back and look at the history of the NFL. Go back and look at the people who humbly sat there and created these little worthless football teams like the New York Giants that they couldn't even sell for $200. But they poured into that. They invested in that. They sacrificed for that. They had patience. They spent 50, 60, 70 years to build that. It took them 2, 3 decades to get something that was worth having. And because they could have taken the shortcut, they could have just attached themselves to something that was built and created by somebody else. That feels good. You get to be flashy, you get to show off and tell everybody, what you have. You get to be like LeBron. LeBron's mama was dating this dude who would go and like when he was dating LeBron's mama, he would stand in front of LeBron's yacht and take a selfie in front of the yacht, like he owned it. But he ain't own that damn yacht. You didn't shoot no jumpers in the gym. You didn't, that's not your yacht. But he's taking the picture because he wanted to look like the guy who owned the yacht. Right. And that's what we get. We get people that don't really want to work hard to own the yacht. We have people that want to pretend to be the person that owns the yacht. So you want to pretend to be the HNIC when really you're not. Really, you're not the shareholder. You're not the major investor. You're not the financial backer of that institution. Go find something of your own size where you can say, look, I'm really the boss of this. Like I'm gonna tell you, the Black Business School ain't, when we started off in the beginning, we wasn't much, but it was mine. Now we're a little bit more than much. We have a few 100,000 students, and we've impacted a lot of people around the world because I've invested in this thing every single freaking day. But it's ours. We get to make when they want to make a decision, they say, "Boyce, what do you think?" I say, "Do this, don't do this." Is it hard? Yeah, it's hard. I have to make tremendous financial investments. I can't be the flashy Negro on the block. I can't. You're not gonna see me walking down the street in a Gucci belt, driving a Rolls Royce, because that capital I get, I'm pouring it back into an institution. Or the same thing, but that's not just true for a business. It's true for a family. You have a chance to reproduce with a woman or with a man and have these children. Well, that's your little empire. You can build that, but you got to invest in that. You make the kids and then you raise the kids and you pour into the kids. And then when they become big and strong and successful, you get to say, I'm calling the shots up in here. This is our space. This space belongs to us. Why? Because we built it. It's hard to own it if you didn't birth it. And unfortunately, for many of our HBCUs, we did not birth those institutions. We do not pay the bills of those institutions. The endowment, if it's $1 billion, is that really our money, or did that money come from the state or come from some white benefactors or people like that? Now, I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm not making fun of them. But what I'm saying is you have to know the difference when it comes to calibers. There's tiers to this. There's tiers to ownership. There's tiers to control. There's tiers to liberation and freedom. Because I don't care what you say. When the rubber meets the road, the person who is going to make the decision is the one who writes the damn check. And if you're not the person writing the check, then any power that you claim to have is typically going to be power that is only granted to you by the person who really does write the check.